right now we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to introduce Coach of the University of Tennessee, Kellie Harper. Start off with some opening comments, if you have any.
Well, we're excited to be here. We are looking forward to the opportunity that we have tomorrow. Our travel has been good, and our team is excited. So, obviously we have a huge challenge with our opponent tomorrow with Louisville. And, hopefully we'll get a good practice in and feel ready to go tomorrow.
We'll open it to questions. Go ahead, right here in the front.
Hey, Coach. Kelly and Stitz with WATE TV. What challenges do the Cardinals present, and how do you slow down Haley Van Leith?
So the Louisville, first off, is really good defensively. They play an aggressive style. They turn you over, which leads to transition opportunities for them. In the half-court set, they have a lot of different options. They can shoot the three, they can put the ball on the floor, they can get it inside, and they have a lot of different people that can do those things. So I think their balance is a challenge. Their defensive aggressiveness is a challenge, and they're going to play hard. So you're not just going to walk out there and out hustle a team.
Okay, let's go over here to this side.
Cora Hall, Knoxville News Sentinel. Kelly, I know you're not just here just to be here. You guys want to win, but have you and your team been able to kind of appreciate being here and enjoying this moment together on this trip to the Sweet 16?
So I think anyone that has followed our team all season, we have not taken one win for granted. We have enjoyed every single win that we have had. So I can assure you that we're enjoying the moment as well. Now, don't get me wrong, when we step out on the court, we'll be very locked in to the task at hand. But if you're just moving on from next thing to the next thing, if you're not enjoying the journey, you're missing out on a whole lot. And our team all season long has enjoyed this process and the journey that this season has given us.
Okay, we do have one here on Zoom. Maria, go ahead.
Hello, Coach. This is Maria Cornelius, 247 Sports. Coach, I got the opportunity to talk to Samantha Williams, and I asked her specifically about Sarah Puckett's shot. And she said she almost started crying out of happiness for Sarah Puckett. I may be the only one to quote an Aerosmith lyric here. There's hardly any breathing room between pleasure and pain. And I asked her if she misses that shot. This is a brutal offseason for Tennessee. You're not here. You're not in Wichita. In hindsight, now that some time has passed, just how big was that, not only for Sarah, but for Tennessee to get you to where you are right now?
That shot was a huge shot. I'm going to take a little pressure off Sarah. I told Snoop she had to get the board if Sarah missed it. So I'm confident that Snoop would have found a way to go get that offensive board if she'd have missed. But I do think Sarah has worked so hard. She puts in so much extra time. I think the shot was not only great for our team and obviously giving us an opportunity to be ahead going down the stretch. It was great for her. And it did almost bring tears to my eyes, too, because, here's one of these players that worked so hard. She's put so much time in. It was great to see her be rewarded and great for our team to be rewarded in that moment.
Thank you. Let's go right in the front right here.
Oh. Okay, you're holding it. Hey, Coach. Okay, Madison Hogg, WBIR TV. You talk about just enjoying the ride. How are you guys just enjoying being in the Sweet 16 right now?
Well, we had our travel day yesterday. It was actually quite long. We had a lot packed in early and then gave them the evening to rest and relax. Today is definitely more a business day. We have more film sessions, obviously practice. So, I think they do a pretty good job of bouncing back and forth between relaxation and business time. But they're definitely enjoying this. They are super excited about the opportunity.
Okay, right here in front.
Earlier in Louisville's press conference, Kiana Smith said they focused on rebounding. That was their biggest focus all week, and they felt like it's going to be one of the deciding factors in tomorrow's game. your team's obviously been doing this all season, but, without the possibility of having Jordan Horston, how do you feel about your team's, how they've tried to kind of replace her in these last few weeks and where you're at and, how crucial that will be tomorrow?
Yeah, I feel like all season long going into games, I could have given the opponents keys to the game, and it was going to be rebounding. There's no doubt. We've seen that all season long. Obviously, we took a hit statistically when we lost Jordan Horston with rebounding numbers. But, I think the rest of our team just has to be a little bit more disciplined to make sure that we still make that a strength of ours. And, it's not as easy now, but I still think it's important to us, and we still emphasize it.
Okay, right here. Yep.
Coach, Jeff Walls mentioned he got a scouting report from his 6-year-old daughter. I'm just curious if Jackson or Kylie kind of mentioned anything to look out for on your end.
We were watching a game, and Jackson happened to be in the room, and he stopped everybody. I had no idea what he was going to say, and he said, hey, number 5 jumps really high. I think we have to make sure that we guard her because she jumps really high. So that was his input for our players. We'll probably limit his input from now on. Not that number 5 can't jump really high. I think she jumps very high, but we might look at some other keys to the game.
Okay, let's go back here in front.
Kellie, I know you said your kids are along for the ride, and obviously, John's one of your assistant coaches. What's this kind of moment like for your family to enjoy this together and to find this success in just your 3rd season here?
So having our kids here, they don't get to travel all the time with us this year, but they're here, and it's fun to know they're here and get to experience this moment. Jackson remembers our Sweet 16 berth when we were at Missouri State, and he talks about that a lot. And he's old enough now to kind of understand the path. And he was asking me this morning about winning a national championship and such. Obviously, I'm trying to get ready for a game tomorrow, but he's looking ahead. So he's kind of getting big picture. It's been fun. It's been fun to share this with our children and our children with our team. I think that's really special. When you've got a group that you love so much, you want your children to be around them. That's something really special.
Okay, I think we can go back to Maria on Zoom here. We'll get over there. So, okay. Go ahead, Maria.
Coach, besides the fact that Louisville has players that Jackson noticed can jump high, what are the other challenges that Louisville will present to Tennessee tomorrow?
Well, they're really aggressive on both ends of the court. Like I mentioned earlier, I think they have a lot of options offensively, options both with different people, but also different skill set among those people. They can put the ball on the floor and they can shoot the ball from the perimeter. They can get the ball inside. They run a lot of different stuff, and that's if you get them in a half-court set. I think their strength is in transition. I think they're really good there, and obviously they get a lot of that from their defense. So, taking good shots, taking care of the basketball, all of that, all of our offensive execution will help us on the defensive end as well.
Let's go over to the side.
Coach Cameron from the Courier-Journal in Louisville, you mentioned Louisville's versatility. Just Olivia Cochran in the post has done a lot for them. She's come up big in a lot of big matchups against post. Elisa Cunane, Elizabeth Kitley, players like that. When you look at her on film, what kind of challenges does she pose as you guys prepare for Louisville?
Olivia is very aggressive, very strong, powerful, and explosive. And obviously she can play inside, she can play outside, she can put the ball on the floor. She leads their team in free throw attempts, so she's being aggressive, getting herself to the free throw line, and she does a great job on the boards. And then defensively, again, she's strong, she's powerful, she's mobile, and it's just a really big challenge for her player to get the ball in good position to score.
Okay, let's go back over here to the side.
Ray Burrell is the longest tenured person in this program at this point, and she stuck with you when the coaching change happened. What's it like for you to see her get to have this moment in her senior year when she has, been through so much this season?
I love to see our players succeed. I love to see them find success, and there's something, about your seniors that have put in the time. I know after our game against Belmont, I grabbed Ray, hugged her, and told her I was so happy for her, to have this moment, to have this opportunity. That's why she came to Tennessee, and it's very satisfying as a coach to be able to see your players check off maybe a box that they wanted to accomplish.
Okay, let's go ahead and go back in front, right in the middle.
Hey, Coach, I believe you touched on it yesterday, so apologies if you did, but coming in as the underdog, not that the team needs any more motivation, but how have they internalized that role?
I think for the majority of the season, I think early on, we kind of played with a chip on our shoulder. We were a little bit of an underdog trying to go out with something to prove. And then the next thing you know, we were ranked in the top 5 nationally. So then we had to start learning to live in that space. And it was a different space. I believe we're going back into a game now where we're viewed as an underdog again. So our players are allowed to put that chip back on their shoulder and go out and compete a little bit more freely. And I think they'll be excited about that.
Okay, we have another one on Zoom. Michelle, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Coach, it's such a different game now from this perspective from when you're playing in that almost every team has transfers now. That's just part of the game. And I wonder how that changes the mentality of a head coach, because that is something I think you're kind of almost constantly thinking about, the portal, who's going in it, who you might get from it. How does that change how you guys have to approach things?
Well, I think the portal's just changed recruiting. It's given you another database to recruit from. You have high school players, you have junior college transfers, you have portal kids, you have international players. I mean, it's just another database now. And, everybody has to be aware of it and understand that, it can be both a positive and a negative at times. And but it's reality. It's not anything we're fighting. It's reality. You've got to learn to live in this world.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right, we'd like to thank everyone for attending. Appreciate Coach showing up.
All right. Thank
Thanks
you, guys.
a lot. I'd like